Crunch time, coming up big when it counts.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Crunch Time, where we come up big when it counts. I'm Doma with the great man, Saucy, Anthony Collects, and Mast. How you going, boys?
What's happening?
Good, Doma. Doing well. Fellas, how are we?
Not too bad.
Not much happening.
I'm good.
Except for the hobby. It's just there is a bit happening in
Always.
the card space.
Always a bit happening.
I think we'll start it right where Lukey left it last week in his Fire or Flame. But I think a lot has transpired since then in terms of digging deep into the NBA card market per se, and it comes down to flat prices in the hobby for PSA 10s, 9s, BGS 9.5s, just card prices dropping dramatically. So, boys, take it away.
You want to kick it off, Sauce? I think you had a good one today.
Yeah, look, I just feel that there are some bargains to be had out there, and spoke about it on our double coverage podcast, and how I've observed some trends of some guys over the last sort of year and where they're at right now. It's great that we've got tools such as Card Ladder to go back and have a look at these trends. And there's cards of players who, within the last 12 months were, their prices rose up, they came back down, they've risen up again, and now they've come back down. And we're seeing the duplicate of the pattern. Guys like Zion, guys like Ja Morant. You can even go other guys deeper than that, because if it's happening to those, top two guys out of the draft, then you can go back and have a look. You can even go have a look at Luka Doncic, really, if you want to. I've heard people giving that as a play, essentially, and I'm even myself on the verge of just about to buy a Luka Doncic rookie card, because it's where his prices have come from. It's an interesting play. It's like, well, I'm sure people still believe that Luka Doncic is the face of the NBA going forward and is an amazing talent, but where the drop-off in his prices have been, it's pretty phenomenal. It's like 40, 50%. One Ja Morant card I was looking at was 60% from its all-time high, which was essentially a year ago.
What card was it?
Was the Optic Holo. So
Optic Holo, okay. I was going to say, I was going to ask you a question when you were done before I go on to what I was going to say, but yeah, continue. I'll ask it when you're done.
Yeah, well, look, I'll pass it over to you, man, to continue. Yeah. But that's just what I've been observing, and I think these guys who everyone was so hyped about, they're now at a point where they're as low as any graph is going to tell you that they've been at. And if people aren't willing to buy them up right now when they're at their low, essentially, when will people buy them up? I don't know. I think now is the opportunity, because we've seen these cards could go up a shitload.
Especially with playoffs so close as well. The playoffs are a few weeks away, aren't they?
Legit, there's only 3 games left.
There's only 3 games left. Yep.
Shit. I was gonna say, because there's already teams getting kicked out and stuff like that. Teams not making the play-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Be interesting to see. I'm just saying, it'd be interesting to see if those teams who don't make it, because Memphis is one of those teams who's on the verge. If they do make it, does Ja Morant's price, for instance, go up? Or if they don't make it, does it even fall even more?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The question I was going to ask, just as you were talking there, sort of just popped into my head. It's something I've been thinking about all day, but not this point. Do you think we're getting to a point where the supply of cards is starting to meet the demand, and that's why prices aren't going up and down? And there's less of that sort of day trading going on? Because if you talk about like the guys you just talked about, then you mentioned Luka, Ja, Zion. Like, say they're Prism based, for example. There's a huge supply of that, huge print, a huge amount graded. Do you think we're starting to see that sort of equilibrium between supply and demand?
Yeah, I think.
Go, man.
Sorry, because my I don't know if you can hear it. I'm driving. I'm doing a drive-by podcast. So that's why the audio might be.
We'll make it happen here at Crunch Time.
Dedicated to the game. But yeah, I reckon it's two things. It's the fact that everyone's getting cards back from PSA from the July, August, even some September subs. That was really the first peak of prices in the market, and everyone's getting their submissions back from there. And also, you've got to factor in there's a lot less demand right now because no one's really watching NBA as they typically do leading up to playoffs. So I think what needs to happen is people need to start watching NBA first and foremost, which will happen as the playoffs progress and as the storyline develops. You know, like I said, if Jar makes the playoffs, he hits a game winner, well, back your business. The Jar is going to be put up everywhere, all over eBay, ComC, everything. But if he's knocked out first round, his price is still going to dip a little bit. People are very cautious because they know after a player gets knocked out, it tends to dip. My worry is what happens to a player like Luka. Say they get knocked out of playoffs early, so they don't even make the playoffs. If a price is already at, I think the last time I checked, sub 1,000 USD.
Yeah, it was about 1,000
for a 10 prison base.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens after? Because it's all well and good. Everyone wants to talk about the hype leading up to the playoffs, but unless these players perform, it's likely they're going to drop before obviously climbing back up next season. I think what's really needed is a break from NBA. That'll be the healthiest time for the market. When there's a gap between after the playoffs and the next season, if they do a nice, lengthy gap, prices will dip, but then that's such a big buying opportunity, both now and then, leading up into next season.
I agree, bro.
I was going to say, we went straight from, it was almost straight away from the bubble to the new season. It was pretty close. It was like a month or so, wasn't it? Yeah.
We spoke about this before, a bit of basketball fatigue and how that's maybe played into the market. But there is one point I would, mention on that is you're talking about the supply meeting the demand. I still don't think that's the case because these cards are still transacting daily. People are willing there to buy them.
I don't mean sort of meeting it. I mean that maybe a decrease in demand.
Yeah, well,
maybe because of more supply.
But one thing I was going to say was, even on, for instance, like the Optic Holo card that I pointed out. I mean, the PSA 10 pop report on it is only under 400. So it's not like it's a super available card in that retrospect. I'm even that's dropped a heap,
It was 261, I think, for that card source. I was talking 261, I think.
I was talking more base Prism is what my thoughts were.
Maybe.
But we've seen this in the past, Luke, where if when the market goes down, what's the first thing that drops the most dramatically?
Yeah.
It's always the base Prism, and that's because the pop report on it is so high that it's the most liquid card. People are like, oh, that's the thing I'm going to sell first.
But is it also is it even like those cards are selling for so cheap? Because people obviously they want that card, the supply, the demand for it. Sorry, but some people trying to get rid of it. Like I've mentioned before, the grading prices for cards, and I know Cooper, who we speak to a lot. He's always said, "Oh, collect numbered cards. If it's base, but base numbered, you know what I mean? Don't buy cards that aren't numbered. This and that. Maybe it's the print run's so big on those base prisms, and because a grading cost to get that card graded now is X amount, and people are making literally no profit on cards anymore. It's like maybe we are kind of moving away from. I'm just thinking outside the box. It's like maybe they're moving away from that type of thing.
I do see what you mean.
Maybe the junk slab era will be literally Prism base, select base, all those base cards, unnumbered crap.
I think maybe from I don't think Select, to be honest, because I think the print run of Select's still pretty low compared to Prism. Like how many jar Prisms are there compared to jar Selects?
Yeah, I mean, like,
concourse.
yeah, I was just as an example. You got hoops as well,
fair enough,
even hoops as well, like hoops,
Optic as well.
Optic.
I've sort of seen
That's
it
what I'm
with,
saying. Like just the base variant. It's not a numbered
On the
variant
flip
or
side-
colored.
On the flip side of that, like I know you said, what goes down because once the market goes down is obviously base. In saying that, the price, the thing that has the most volatility when a player does well is typically the base. Base will get bought up because they're priced kind of towards
they're readily
comps, whereas-
available.
Yeah, and people can just go on and buy like 3 before they can even finish. I'm feeling that we're going to see upticks all over the board. If Luka hits a game winner, if Lillard hits a game winner, all these potential game winners are going to, they're going to spike in price. And then it's a matter of whether they progress in the playoffs to sustain, that uptick.
The one example I can think of, it's off the top of my head, is actually MPJ, and he's base Prism 9. Can you, if Source, you got your card ladder open, yeah?
Yep.
Can you just look that up quickly? Just I don't want to give out wrong information, but like when I have one, I bought it ages ago now. I think it was
Which card?
just
Prism.
Prism base, yeah, PSA 9. Is there something like that hasn't really moved over the last, how long has he been playing well? He's been playing real well over the last, say, month, yeah?
Month.
Maybe a bit longer?
He's killed it for about a month.
I haven't really seen that move.
Yeah, base Prism PSA 9 last sold $67, and over the sort of like the last month, it's fluctuated sort of 10% in a range of
Like six,
from
that'd be like, what,
75 to 65.
Yeah.
75 to 65,
Shit,
sort of in that range.
You know what? It's not a bad buy, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at recently. But then if you look at something like I bought a Shock Optic PSA 9 as well. That's gone up. I'm pretty sure they're at, I saw some comps at around 80 US pretty recently, probably the last week or so. I picked that up for 40.
That's a
2-3
bargain.
months ago.
That's a bargain, bro. I think MPJ
and they were like
definitely
constantly going for 40 as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it's a buy because people are forgetting. They're like, oh yeah, he's only doing it now. Murray's back next season, but Murray's done his knee. He's out for a year from to date.
I'm looking even short. I'm looking even shorter term, as in like what's going to happen in the playoffs. He's got Jokic next to him, was arguably the MVP this season.
Well, the same thing happened last year. Like I sold a Jokic rookie during the bubble.
Yeah,
because he was
I remember you
dominating.
saying this. Yeah.
And in hindsight, but I don't even know what the price of that card is. I try not to look it up. Just but
enough.
Really, I think it's literally floating around the same price as what I sold it for as a base.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is you capitalize on that. I had the Jokic. Source had the Lillard when he was killing it. He went through that crazy run.
That was a huge play.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm with Ant as well. Like, I was just saying, like, because there's so much base that's great, and because of the prices, we could see some different, like, cheaper slabs obviously going.
Yeah.
But I agree with Ant too. All it takes is one of these guys to just hit one big shot, and it's just going to change the whole landscape of the hobby for basketball in that X amount of time.
I think this play-in tournament is going to be a big thing too. I feel like that's going to really spark interest again. And then, we're going to go into the playoffs, and it's just going to be, it'll be big. I do expect that as well. Like you guys are saying. Yeah.
Seems all around the board, everyone's expecting a bit of an uptick, which is, I think it's the market is so low on some of this modern stuff. Low as it's been for a long, long time. And I'm, as I said, I'm not even just talking about base cards. We're talking about base cards because they're the most readily available. But if you go on the more rarer parallels, some of the stuff, it's still super low. So
that's what I was going to say. If you're gonna buy for the short term and look to flip in the next, for the play-ins or the playoffs, I'd be looking at color right now. Anything, even from your lower end color like Shock or person. I don't like if you're talking optic. I don't like hyper pink, but even that compared to base, I wouldn't be buying base right now.
But that's
if you're talking about return.
Who was it that we spoke to about that source? Oh, about how there's just like variants on cards, like the Hyper is severely underrated. Was it Jay,
Hyper's sick.
Studio
Yeah.
Collector?
I'm a big fan of Hyper.
Hyper, and I'm a huge fan of Mojo. Mojo,
Really? I'm not a
yeah,
huge
I'm a
Mojo
big
guy, to be
fan.
honest. I'd honestly
Mojo,
rather
for
have
some
a
reason,
Hyper
has
than a
such
Silver.
low comp. Really? That's
Big
tough
call, yeah. I'd rather have a Hyper than a Silver. That's just my preference.
Hypers are dope. I'm not gonna lie. Hypers are
Are they? It probably depends on which card, but do you reckon there's less Hypers than Silvers? Or do people just not
Most
grade them?
definitely.
No, there is. That's what we
Yeah.
discussed with Jay.
There
is,
so
yeah?
that's Studio _ Collector. He said that. He
Yeah.
goes, I don't understand why. He's actually at the moment buying up a shit ton of
Buying
Hypers.
Because they are cheaper than your Silver as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
That's
Most
the
definitely.
Definitely a
reason
big
why.
Hyper guy.
It's like the run up on the cards are way less than what a Silver is, and
Yeah.
he goes, they look just as good, if not better, than a Silver.
I think they're better personally.
So
The thing is with those is I don't think you're going to get as much of talking, investment wise. Do you reckon the hype is going to move as much as what a Silver would? So say we're going into hypothetically now, MPJ has a 35-point game, first game of the playoffs. Which moves further, his Silver or his Hyper?
well,
Do they have Hyper in 2018?
Silver. The Silver moves further,
Silver,
and
yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
it goes every time.
Yeah.
But if
it's
you're
down-
talking about,
yeah.
it's up to you. If you're talking about like a long time play, probably maybe the Hyper because it's rarer. But we don't know, and it's always been known that the Silver does move further. But as Ant said, sometimes also the base has more volatility to it that the base could potentially jump a lot further. So, as well, and in the short term especially. So, look, once again, do your research, but these are just the things that we've observed in the market about the basketball card market, and potentially you listen to this, flicks a light bulb in your brain, and you go have a look and maybe find something that maybe we missed, and DM us and let us know because we sparked your interest, because that'd be great.
Post it on your story as well and share it. If you bought
100%.
something,
100%. But the Hyper is like Jay explained it to Source and I, that the Hyper, just the last thing on it before we do move on, he said it's a long-term play. He goes, once people start realizing it's got a shorter print run than what the Silvers do, the pop, this
much
is the
harder
thing.
to grade.
Pop, much harder to grade because of obviously print lines in those cards. But he was saying the pop as well, and that word is going to carry a lot of weight going forward in the hobby when
especially this era
PSA
right
reopens and there's that many graded cards. The pop report is going to be so important. And when you're getting a Hyper 10 of a JJJ, for
16
example,
million graded cards hitting the market.
Yeah, legit. When there's for example, I'm just going to
when
give
you
JJJ.
think of it like that, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just imagine JJJ
I hadn't
Silver.
thought of that, Saucy, actually.
Think of like a PSA 10 JJJ Silver, and the pop on it is like 3,000, we'll just say. And then his Hyper's pop is like, I don't know, 800 for a PSA 10. Which one? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I think people start thinking about that.
Do you think, I don't know if this is the same sort of comparison. Sorry to continue with this, but do you reckon it would end up being like, say Curry, for example, how you got Topps Chrome, and then the Refractor? Do you think the Hyper becomes like, say, the Refractor, for example?
Potentially, once people work it out.
Yeah. Just to,
so buy it up now.
It's not that easy with all the parallels that Panini's put.
That's true.
What would you say, Anth?
Like I'm saying, like it makes logical sense, but for some reason, going against the market for me has always like typically backfired. Especially when I'm like, no, this makes so much sense, and then all of a sudden, it's like, no, we don't really like that parallel. Like a market as a whole decides what parallel to go on. I think Mojo. I think Hyper is unique because exactly what Doma said. When the cards come back, and these popular reports start getting formulated, that's going to be the biggest thing. Who's going to look at them and say, why am I paying a double for a silver when the pop on the hyper is half? That is going to be a big, big thing.
We'll see if
Yeah.
that plays out. We'll see if
Hey,
that
Everyone-
plays out.
Everyone post a
just-
photo of your favorite hyper card that you have and share it on your story as well and tag all of us.
I can't wait till the meme James comes out and he creates a meme about like the pop report pre-shutdown,
Yeah.
post shutdown. It's going to be like a Luca base graded. It was like 20,000 post shutdown. It's like over 150,000 because they've got through their 20 million cards. And then literally the card is literally worthless in my eyes when there's that many of them. So,
Yeah,
all right,
bad.
let's move on. Let's do Mosaic first, and then we'll get into a bit to dissect from Garyvee. So, Mosaic Soccer dropped. Feelings, what you've seen in the breaks. We don't need to spend too much time. Just what you've seen optically with the cards.
It looks so good so far. Some of the autos being pulled. I think Cherry got a Fati, and what was the other one they got?
Neymar? Was it
They got
Neymar?
Nah,
Ronaldo
Neymar was in that
as well.
Facebook group. Who did?
They got a Ronaldo
Did
at the
they?
end there.
Oh,
So,
that's sick.
yeah.
Oh,
Some of the
that's elite.
autos have been so good so far. Even some of the cards have been getting.
This is not a sleeper of a product. Like,
Hmm.
they're very pretty. They're very pretty cards. Especially for soccer, it works really well. I love Mosaic. I think Mosaic slept on as well. I think because they've split up into La Liga and Serie A, I think you're going to see a lot more.
Yeah, it looks sick.
A lot of rookies that will pop because I had to dig deep into the checklist and find a lot more rookies to print. The autos are great. The stained glass, I haven't seen them yet, but from that one photo, Joao Felix, they look amazing as well. I like it.
Yeah. With Anth on that one, it looks so good so far. I saw one of Cherry's boxes as well. Dest from Barca, the American guy. I think they pulled like 3 Dests from one box. I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I'm pretty sure he has an RC in this as well. I think that's what they said. I was sort of listening and half watching. I'm pretty sure he's an RC in this too.
He's going to be a good player. And
Yeah. So
problem
these
is,
boxes look pretty stacked from the few that I've seen. Obviously, it's still early days,
Hey, it
but the
could be
few
like-
that I've seen is pretty stacked.
could be like Chronicle Source. Heaps
Nah,
of rookies.
It has that Chronicles vibe to it. That's what I was thinking. The fact they got a Maradona auto for Napoli is... I was shocked. I didn't realize they put... Like, I didn't even dig deep enough into the checklist to see that.
Yeah.
That's a big, big card. They got a Maradona in the shot, and they got a Beckham in the La Liga. Like,
Yeah.
decent.
Even because I was looking through the auto checklist today, actually, after we having a look for some Serie A ones. Some of the autos for some of the legends like Pirlo, Nesta. There was some of the other Italian grades in there
Surely
too.
Baggio's in there.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my
No,
head.
no,
The list was decent
No
though.
Baggio.
The list was decent. I feel like those cards are so undervalued, in my opinion. I was talking to Zuro about it as well, and he goes like, he just felt that none of the ones in the checklist are going to, I think he said something. I don't want to quote him just in case I say it wrong. But yeah, he agreed that they're, I think, a bit underpriced.
I think this is probably a discussion to have for another day, yeah. But
Yeah.
like about vintage soccer. But I think there's a lot of all the hype is around these modern guys and obviously rookies. I get that, but my hot tip is literally just go get what do they call? I've gone blank here. The guys that do the Ballon d'Or. Oh my god. Anyway, the French. What's them called? Yeah, they pick the Ballon d'Or. No, you know the Ballon d'Or. How they select the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah.
The winner.
Yeah.
You know how we didn't have the Ballon d'Or? They went and created the 3 all-time teams ever in the history of soccer. My advice is go get those 3 teams and buy. Go get those 3 teams and buy every player that you see on there in card form, because we haven't seen the vintage spike like we did in basketball just yet. Everyone's too worried about Ansu Fati and Haaland and Mbappe and
I feel like we
Like-
have for the rookies of those guys, like, your Ronaldo rookies, your
Yeah,
Messi
I
rookies.
understand. Yeah, even
But, like, more
Zidane as well, I know.
Yeah, what I've been looking at is like more the memorabilia stuff, like your patch autos and stuff for those legends. Like, yeah, it's newer product, but they're still legends of the game, and it's still an auto.
100%.
Like sticker auto, yeah, but
Numbered. And numbered as
it's
well.
numbered, yeah. Patch auto is like, I don't know. I feel like that's a play.
I've seen
in
some
soccer.
Maldinis go for like nothing.
I was watching a
understand
Pilo
it.
one last week. I couldn't believe how cheap it went. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
110 US.
Yeah.
This guy's won a World Cup. He's probably one of the. Oh, this is a big call, but probably one of the best Italian midfielders of all time.
That's not a big call. It's probably fact. That's fact.
Fair. Some people be like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Yeah.
I'll leave
No.
it up to my Italian insider Azzurro to
Yeah, we'll leave it to him. We'll get him on to do like a top 10
I want him to fact
greatest
check
Italian
Yeah.
players
that.
ever.
I'm not standing by that comment. That's fact check.
I love it. All
Alright,
right, beautiful.
He doesn't want to get clipped again.
I wonder if I'll get clipped for that one.
I love it. I didn't realize that Mkhitaryan's got a. Do they all have like RC cards on them? I'm just going through the checklist. Why is Ronaldo got a RC on it?
Because Immobile had one as well. No, I think it's just to show what it would look like with an RC. I don't think they actually have RC. Surely Immobile is getting an RC at what? 29, 30, whatever how old.
I mean, they gave it to Bamford, so you never know.
Yeah, true.
Don't talk too soon on that stuff. Zlatan might get one. He's like 40. So,
He's Milan RC.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what we're going to start doing now.
Yeah, they're going to
It's
start
gonna be
doing that now.
ridiculous. It's going to say like
team
first club RC.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just going to be ridiculous.
Bloody
All
hell.
right, let's move on. The last big topic. Card Porn commented on a Garyvee post during the week, and Gary replied. So Card Porn just asked, so after V Friends is sorted, are you going to get back into cards and what are you going to collect? And he said 61 Fleer basketball, LBJ 03 rookies, Zards. What else have I got here? Zards and wrestling. So I went and did a bit of research today on the 61 Fleer, and that's Wilt Chamberlain's rookie year. Makes sense. Completely get that. I'm pretty sure Jerry West is also in that product. You can get Bill Russell.
I'm pretty sure that's a really pretty set. Like it's a very aesthetically pleasing looking.
It's nice. It is nice. It's got the player on a coloured background in a black and white, and then the name is on like a white backing. So it actually does look very, very nice. So just your thoughts on these few things that he said and projections, your opinion on what you think is going to happen if he comes out with some of these cards from a particular set. And yeah, just your thoughts, boys.
Here's my take. I think that anytime Garyvee comes into any market, this guy has ridiculous pull. Like he just has so many people that follow him. So by him even tweeting about the card market, it's always a good thing for the market as a whole. In terms of price increases and stuff. In saying that, he's been quite absent. He's obviously been focused on V Friends and he's got his own NFT project going on, so I can't blame him. But he's been quite absent from cards. And I have to think, like, he's told a lot of people to get amongst a lot of his peers, a lot of his, like, wealthy friends to get in on cards. And now they might be seeing some dips. And for some reason, in my head, I think if I'm someone that didn't know anything about cards and I saw Garyvee was investing in cards, and then he's my friend, so I give him a call. I'm like, hey, Gary, what's the go? Why is my, LeBron that I bought for $38,000 now $20,000? And he's like, well, shit, I haven't been paying attention. And then he starts tweeting about it. and that'll boost the price up. I think there might be. I'm not going to accuse him of doing it deliberately, but I do think that he's been out of the game for a while, and he's done this before. He's been out of the game for a period of time, then he bounces back in, and then he goes heavy in that. So I think overall it's a good thing. Yeah, it's definitely not going to do any harm.
Interesting way to look at it, and I tend to agree. He has done this prior. Yeah, obviously we know it would have taken a bit of work to build what he did with V Amigos. So
V Migo, is that what it's called?
yeah, V. Yeah, it's called V Friends, but I just call it V Amigo.
V Migos.
V Migos.
I rate it.
Oh well,
Amigo.
look. Let's be honest. I'm not buying a friggin' $550 ticket to his conference.
It's just, that one just caught me
What
off guard.
you say it's 550? You know they're going for like
Oh,
they're going
shit.
for 2 each a pop.
How much?
Yeah,
know
the
that?
secondary market probably.
Two- About
How
no,
much?
straight from him. They're going for about 10K
What? They
Australian.
were all out of 40, by the way.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's some serious exclusiveness. Serious exclusiveness.
40.
I wonder
Garyvee.
what you're getting for that price. You
I
better
hope
be
you
getting
get-
some
I did
honestly-
the
fucking-
numbers on the low. We're not going to turn this into the V Friends review pod, but on the low, I think it's like upwards of like 60 million he might make if they all sell out.
Oh, he's buying the
Wait,
Jets
Wait,
soon.
what?
He's gonna get there
I thought-
soon.
Like, I don't want to count pockets, but yeah, he's gonna have the Jets, and he might even double over and buy the Bucks, and Brady can sign for the Jets as well. He's gonna be a happy boy with that money.
He might have the
Yeah.
he might have the Knicks and the Jets if this goes that well.
I'm not. I see it happening. Look, I can't say a bad thing. At the end of the day, he's just a great businessman. Like
He is.
He's a great businessman with such a big following now. As well.
Yeah, he's got his
it's
finger
like
on the
his
pulse
fault.
of what's
Is
hot.
it his fault he has a big following?
Yeah.
He's got that presence too. It's just that presence about him. But I've got a take on the 4 cards. Splash will be
back the
happy.
cards.
I was in a yeah. Fuck. Honestly, that $10,000 ticket, all that's buying you. Well, you'd hope it's buying you a blue tick on all your social media accounts. If it's not, then you might as well just pack it up. Because I could go listen to all his free content and get exactly the same thing he's going to tell you for 10 grand for free.
Surely he's coming to your house for dinner for 10K.
And that's word,
Come on.
Doma. I like that. That is word.
That is literally gospel truth. And you know where that's come from, boys? Straight from the horse's mouth himself.
Yeah.
That's
was
come
that?
from Garyvee himself.
He said what? Sorry?
I said that the 10 grand that you're going to go there to get all these words of wisdom, I'll just go get his free content and listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
And that came from the great man himself. I didn't come up with that crap.
He said it.
It sounded wise. Maybe that's because I listened to Gary too much. But besides the point, like I just think I agree with you boys about him being out of the game before and obviously coming back in, and it makes a significant impact on the market. My theory behind it is he's always that type of guy that he does the same thing as like us when we buy something. He doesn't give a play unless he's put his money where his mouth is. And I just think he's just buying up all these plays without telling anyone, literally. And then he's just going to come out and say, you should buy this, you should buy that. And that's how it's going to work. The other thing is that for wrestling, we were in Clubhouse last night with Splash. He jumped in and had a chat with Source and I while we were doing some pre-pod planning. And this topic came up, and I just said it's good news for him because obviously he's collecting. Well, he's got some Ric Flairs. He's got some Ric Flairs, and I just said like Gary's massive into wrestling, like huge into wrestling. So I reckon Ric Flair stuff is just going to go crazy.
Just think
all that
of,
legend
just think
stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Just think of legends. Obviously, Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock. Obviously, that's probably gone off. It's maybe not the one to look at, but go back and have a look at the iconic
Macho
ones.
Man,
John Cena,
Bret Hart,
John Cena.
Bret Hart as well.
Yeah,
Shawn
Cena's the
Michaels.
guy.
even Ultimate Warrior is a big one.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And
Goldberg.
Jimmy,
Triple-
I'm gonna
Triple
say
H.
Jimmy Snooker.
John Cena,
Edge.
rookie. John Cena,
Randy
rookie.
Orton.
John
Did anyone say Randy
Cena,
Orton?
rookie.
No, but that's the one that I said to Splash last night. I said Randy Orton's the one because
Everyone
I think
knows
he's at
RKO.
like I think no, but I
Everyone
think he's
knows
at like 14 or 15 time champ now. He's like one
Is he
behind.
really? Well, I
Yeah.
haven't watched wrestling for a while, to be
Yeah.
honest. So I've
Yeah.
got no idea.
I saw
Wow.
some like a Lad Bible article come up about
Yeah.
like Randy Orton's catching Ric Flair's crazy record, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" And I clicked on it. I'm
Yeah.
like, 14 or 15 time champ. I'm like,
Wow.
what the hell? Well, they're just swapping belts for fun these days.
The thing is with
This
Randy
is-
Orton too, everyone remember that like RKO sort of became a meme for a little
Yeah,
bit?
Yeah.
correct.
When was it? A few
correct.
years back? It sort of became
Everyone
a meme. It still
knows
is a
it.
meme now. I think that's big for him too. Yeah, I reckon
Now
Randy Orton's a play,
the
actually.
last thing,
I like that
I
thinking, Luke.
Yeah.
dissected out of this, and this is more like I'm hoping, and Source is probably the same as me. We've been praying for so long, and we've been preaching this for so long, and we think Gary is going to make it happen. The ceiling on Charizards have got to a point for English variants where, yeah, the base set first edition and Shadowless, whatever, could get to $1 million. But the room for growth for Charizard in this hobby is Japanese first edition cards. Now, I said to Source, the play is going to be that 20th anniversary Zard. He's going to show that card. I'm convinced. I just think the market is there. I don't know how the box can be going for 3.5K, 4K USD, the Japanese box, and the Zard. You can go on eBay right now and you can buy a raw one for $300.
Mm.
I just think Japanese cards for Pokemon are going to be a thing, and it could be not just Japanese. Well, it can be just Japanese. Well, the way all he has to spin it, the only way he has to spin it is it originated from Japan.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's it.
It's
It
so-
was
it's
its
so logical.
birthplace. It was his birthplace. That's it. You can still get some later printed Japanese cards on a first edition print run when all the English cards are literally unlimited printed. There's no first edition anymore. You can come out and say that, oh, you know, the Japanese sets are printed before the English. And because there's a first edition, you know that the English set only takes the artwork and just replicates it in their set when it comes out in Australia. And they just put a different name on it, like to give it more credibility. I just got this feeling with Zards. I'm thinking to myself, what Zards? Like I'm hoping that it's Japanese, but the other thing I was thinking is, how many more of these fucking PSA 10 Zards is this guy going to go pump his money into? Like, it makes no sense.
Two things as well, sort of on the topic. For me, I'm not a Pokemon guy at all. As a kid, I wasn't a big fan. Now I'm not really into it, and the cards and stuff. Yeah, but you just explaining how it's from Japan. The Japanese version just makes so much sense that should be the card. I don't know. That's just me as someone who's not in it. Take from hearing what you guys have said.
Yeah, that's our take as well, Lukey.
Yeah,
and that's
it just makes so much.
yeah.
It's logical. The second thing as well, just on the 4 cards, he's buying up or showing or whatever. What he replied to card porn. It seems like he's doubling down on stuff that he already has, because he said he has a whole lot of LeBron Chromes. The 61s that I'm not too sure if he has any of those, and he has Charizards as well. So it just looks like he's doubling down on what he has, which is interesting in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. He could just be doing that, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Why not believe in the play?
literally
get more.
affirming his collection that
Yeah.
it is the best plays to make of these cards, and
Yeah.
he's
And
got
he's
a whole
not wrong,
bunch of them.
especially about the LeBron Chrome. I agree with him.
LeBron definitely not. That card's still super undervalued.
Yeah.
Like, anything
Yeah.
LeBron is undervalued. It's just like everyone's got haterade on LeBron. Like, everyone.
Until
And
he's
everyone-
gone, and then it'll
Yeah,
all go.
exactly. It's all haterade because it's like he's a threat to the throne of the GOAT status. That's all it is. That's literally all it is.
LeBron will be a lot more appreciated, and his card will be a lot more appreciated once he retires.
I agree,
Yeah,
and that's a sad.
so
And
back
that's
to the
and you
matter.
know what? That's sad.
It is
That's
sad.
the sad thing.
It is.
And
Sad, but like
Yeah,
perspective, he's buying for like 20 years down the road when the next person who's challenging LeBron's number one in points position. Yeah, there's always going to be that next person, and LeBron's bound to get to number one, if not, and then that'll be the argument. Saucy didn't look happy with that comment.
he's
But
playing for New Orleans. He wears number one. Invest heavily in him.
I was going to say he plays at Denver Nuggets. Three initials.
Williamson.
I think in 20 years' time, when this, the next wave comes, the next card NFT hobby wave starts going crazy again, LeBron's going to be looked at, and people are going to be like, "You had the opportunity to buy a lot at what price?" That's just how it's always been. That's how it always is with everything, with any asset. It's always that. It's like, oh,
I remember Gary.
So expensive now.
I remember Gary saying that once. He said it with toys, and then he sort of said that he related it to cards, and then that's how he got back into it a few years ago or something. Toys and shit reboot every 20 years or something like that. Like, the card boom of 19. Oh well, it's a bit off, but 19. Late 90s or whatever, early 90s, and then now we've seen in the last, late teens, what's happened. So do you reckon that's what he's waiting for?
It's all cycled. Everything's cycled.
Yeah.
Like, you look at everything, the fashion industry.
I think the next
toys,
cycle
cards.
might be a bit mad, though, to be honest, technology-wise.
It'd be just stupid.
I think it's going to be a bit mad. I don't know if, I think it might be a bit mad.
It'd be Top Shot in a card is what the next one is in 20 years' time.
Top Shot.
Oh, don't laugh, Colin. We've seen it. We've seen those cards. That app goes over the top of the card, and
no, that we've seen.
That's interesting stuff. Where
Do you want to I could briefly touch on that. Like, there was a guy.
Describe it.
It got put in NBA Card Market, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or Cherry Crew, one of the Facebook groups. And there's this guy in Europe, and he's created through an app, AR technology, where he's got all these cards. They're all custom cards, and I DM'd him, and he sent me a link to the full Google Drive. And I was clicking on the things, and I'm like, oh, these are just pictures, and they're like, he's got some that are numbered, and I saw Schumacher autos, but it's not his auto. Obviously, it's like embossed in the card.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at all these things, and LeBron, and this and that, and some of the cards look freaking sick. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're like NFTs, and I must, like, on the app it just appears. And I DM'd him, and he goes, no, all these are physical cards that are created by myself.
Yeah.
Like, he manufactures them through whoever does them for him. But he goes, the one that has 3D next to it, you literally put the card flat on your table like this, and then through your phone, you point it at the card on your table, and the hologram through your phone comes out, and it actually has an animation.
Wow.
It is off its head. And he put literally a demo in the group, and I tagged Saws, and we're just like, what the hell is this
crazy
shit? And that's this is early signs of AR technology incorporated into.
I'm gonna go buy some Top Shot now after that. If this is the way it's going, I'm gonna go buy some Top Shot.
Coming from the guy that said this died quicker than Top Shot 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what, it's an all-time low. There is a time to buy some Top Shot. It is now. It has an all-time low. I'll tell you.
I saw a meme about Top Shot. I'm like, do you reckon Top Shot's a play right now? Just to myself.
I reckon it is.
To myself.
The great man Cage Lawyer has just been.
I'm not going to advise it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Go on,
I'm not advising it either. It was a thought.
Let's not forget my absolutely ridiculous Booker investment that only worked out. It literally only worked out because I had to pull it out in crypto, and then I kept it in crypto. The only reason I didn't lose money was it ended up staying in Bitcoin, and that appreciated and recouped the losses from it. That moment, that Top Shot had one of the most ridiculous hot moments of this year.
That was crazy. That was actually crazy.
year in review podcast, that has to be
Top
like
shot.
top 3.
That's up
man.
there.
That
I
is-
know someone that pulled out $16,000 from the Top Shop hype. From
Oh,
profit.
Made 16,000.
From getting packs,
Can
opening
you-
them, and just selling.
Can you get your
Buying
money
packs
out yet?
and just
Or is it still stuck?
yeah,
in
yeah,
there?
he got approved. He got
He
approved.
can?
And
Oh, fucking oath.
he withdrew 16,000.
Oh, nice. That's huge. So when
Pretty
he
good.
hears the bit
Good
about Top
on
Shot, he's like, "Yeah, Top Shot." He loves it.
He's all over it. All right, boys. Very nice discussion. Fire or flame to finish off the show. Have we got anything?
Thoughts, fellas? I've got absolutely donuts. Absolutely donuts.
I can't say that I've got one.
I've got
and even
I've
if
got
I-
a. Go on. Sorry.
Go on. No,
I said
go on.
I've got a fire, but it's not fully complete.
So what's like
Like,
before a fight? So it's just on the
semi-fire.
match still. It's on the match. Like you
Yeah,
lit the
it's-
match.
got
It's
the
just
match,
there,
it's
but
a
it's
spark.
not like
It's
It's
fire.
not.
have the fire.
It's a spark. It's a spark.
It's
I've
a
got
spark,
a spark.
that's it.
We have it.
I've got a
That's
spark.
it. Yeah, go Doma.
I've got a spark.
Last week, Doma had, what was it? A fire with a caution sign. Now he's got the matches. He's just got different types of fires and flames.
2 weeks ago, I burnt
He
down
can't
the
commit. He
Pokemon.
can't commit. This is all precaution. This is all
I've
precaution.
burnt
This
down-
goes and turns to shit.
No, I burnt down the Pokemon community 2 weeks ago. Completely, just torched them. But the
And ever since then,
Sparkies,
now he's gone from caution sign just for the match. He's just holding the match.
just kerosene everywhere now. I'm just eventually it's just going to get to the point where the other extremity, I'm just going to pour kerosene and just light matches and just let everything go off in flames. But legit, the Sparkies, I've been doing a bit of insight. Antha liked this play actually on Dragon Ball cards. I'm using that as the broad horizon, and now I haven't done 100%. Well, I've done a lot of research into it, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I've been talking to a few people in the hobby. Now, the advice I'm just going to give to people is Dragon Ball Super is super hot right now. Super, super hot. And so is like the Panini 05 or Score 05 Dragon Ball Z set. Just do yourself a favor and you got to zag and look elsewhere because there's a lot more sets in existence that have been created by another company that there are Pokemon cards also created in the same like, I don't know, I'm talking in riddles here, in the different
Same
zag
brand or-
it's a different brand to what Wizards of the Coast made, for example. And then obviously now it's developed further to a different company. But just look elsewhere. Just look into it. The tip is like look at fan made first, and that will lead you down the right track to the correct sets. I'll probably come out with a pure fire next week. Just look at Japan. That's all I'm saying. Just look at that.
I'm giving him this face because I'm going.
Next week, we've got the real fire.
Yeah, I've been doing some. I've actually put my
I'm
money
giving
where
him
my
the
mouth.
Nick Young. The Nick Young. What?
I've actually next week I'll actually show you 2 cards that I've purchased,
I mean,
and you'll see.
I like
you'll
it.
see-
Dragon
Oh,
Ball.
I-
Dragon Ball is so hot right now.
And I'm not looking at
even
Super.
I want to get in the market. I just don't know where to go.
Yeah, be careful because
Shout out to all the rookies, man.
gone
All the
on.
Yeah,
rookies
bro,
are
it's
up.
elite.
fire stuff.
The good thing is you can go buy the Instinct Rivalries or whatever the new one is box that's come out, and it's like $160, and that's what all the rookies opened last night. So if you go onto his YouTube page, you can watch him rip it open. Local Collectibles actually rips a fair bit of it too. So yeah, it's a good insight into it. But yeah, it was a pretty shit spark by me, boys. I was all over the shop there. But
Look,
Ne-
I wouldn't even
it's
call. I
better than
wouldn't
what
even
the
call it a
rest of us forgot.
spark. I wouldn't even call it a spark. I'd call it
Here we
just.
go.
I don't even know, Doma.
I'll
Because
tell you
you-
what it was.
you-
It was pure utter shit. That's what it was.
Just roasting him.
I
Look,
literally
Tommy,
just
you know,
wasted.
you would have just been better off just being like, look, I've got something, but I'm not confident. Let me do a bit more research. I'll bring it back to you, sound and foolproof next week.
That sounds
Because-
good, Source. You can cut it now, and we can just
And now
put
he's
that
hyped
clip
it for next
Yeah.
week. Now everyone's coming back next week to hear what the rest of it is.
in. No, they're not. They're
Yeah.
just going, Tom.
Yes,
shut the
they
fuck
are.
up. That's what they're saying. I'm just not talking.
100%,
We
100%.
need
My-
Splash. We need Splash to clip this and just say, "What is Doma saying?" and just have it.
Yeah, 100%. No, don't worry. I said something on the Double Coverage podcast, and Splash is definitely going to clip it for future reference. I'm a bit concerned
Oh, no.
about
What
what I
was
said.
it?
Just go listen to the Le Mans of the week. I flamed our mate Haaland again.
Oh, not again! That poor guy.
This poor
Uh,
guy,
we're
he's not playing at the
building
Euros. He's going to move to a new club. It's like going to a new school. And he's got this guy flaming him every single week.
until he comes to United next season. Then
Yeah.
he's going to be my favourite player ever, bro. And then Ant will hate it
You're
because
gonna
he'll be like, typical United supporter.
You're going to have
Gets
the
a player
top
and loves him.
Haaland on the back of his top.
No, never happened.
Haaland
We'll get
signed,
Ronaldo
and
back.
Doma's gonna have a jersey within the week.
Oh, 100% I will.
Within a week. It'll be same day. Same
I'll
day.
be calling him better than Zlatan straight away. I'll say this guy's
Oh.
gonna be better than him. Just to piss you off,
shit.
bro.
Oh, wow. Sneaky
All right.
Flame, AFL Footy Stars Prestige. Doma, what can we pull in there? We can pull the PMG
PMG.
Reds and the
That's what they call them.
PMG Greens.
And
They're
PMG
essentially a rip-off
Blues.
of the PMGs.
And
the
there's
AFL
PMG
cards,
Blues,
footy
Saucy.
cards Prestige. Sneaky box. I'll be ripping that sometime in the next week on a live.
On footy cards, I can't believe they sell Team Coach at Coles now. They sell Team Coach
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Why was this not around when I was a kid? Do you know how many boxes of Team Coach I would have fucking had? Now they want to do this. Bloody hell.
It's
Anyway.
been around for a while, man. Like I mean,
ages.
Coles
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
we-
didn't used to get it. It used to be a lot more in the news agents and,
No, but I
and
remember when I
things
was
like
a
that.
kid. When I was a kid, yeah, you had to go to the newsagent. Like they weren't selling at petrol stations
Yeah,
or anything
yeah.
like that. And there's like, how often do you go to the newsagent? You know what I mean? It's like out the way, and your parents don't want to take you there. And,
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. Fair point.
You know what I mean?
Fair point.
Whereas if I'm going to Coles, I'm going to pay footy cards every time I go.
I'll tell you what,
Even
footy card.
even the servos, bro. Fuck.
Even the footy cards, people are buying out because those AFL Prestige boxes, $140 retail, reselling comfortably for $250 on eBay.
Really?
Yeah, they are.
Yes,
I saw
pe-
someone list them.
and people are buying
Come
them.
on, man.
Look,
It's over.
for the
It's
record,
over now.
I didn't buy AFL to resell it. I bought it to rip it.
You'll get
but-
a PMG and it'll be worth $500 anyway.
Hey,
So.
that's right. Look, just a bit of fun. It is still a product where you can get it at retail. Hopefully.
It's a good rip for $140. That's sick.
And just a little one, just to name drop him, just for the sake of name dropping him, because he's a ripper. But just an update on Montgomery Burns, F1 Sapphire. I told Rizzo in one of his lives about how it was $99 and then it went for resale of $1,300, and he literally was like, "What the hell is happening?" I said to him, "Oh no, it was an exclusive to Montgomery Burns members," and he goes, "Oh, is that a challenge for me to get it?" And I said to him, "Rizzo, it got offered at $99 and went on pre-order resale for $1,300 USD." He's like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "What is happening?" It's just crazy. It's just stupid. But anyway, boys,
Stay tuned. Me and
definitely.
David might be ripping a box of it. Not my box.
No.
What's in Montgomery Burns? Do you get into Montgomery Burns?
Smithers
$800 on
Yeah.
resale currently.
Some-
$750 to $800 they're selling for.
That's not bad.
ballistic on the F1. And
I don't
shout out
blame
to
you.
him, but he might be coming over to rip open a box.
It was
Potentially in the
Smithers.
coming-
Oh, that's big.
But he's at the
Pump it
nuclear
up.
power plant.
Pump it
man.
up.
That's big.
That's good. I
I
like
also
it.
might just be saying that he's going to open the box. I'm pretty sure he bought it to hold it.
I don't know.
He's,
How
yeah.
He's
He's opening that one.
opening it now.
He's already
He's-
said it.
Ant's like, he's coming to open the box. It's going to be the best rip ever. And he's like, no, I'm just coming to open the package box that it came in, so I can just show you you're following. that I've got a
Oh
box,
my
and
God.
Ant's like, "Are you freaking for real?" Like he's standing there with his knife ready to bloody rip it.
He's got all these top
All right,
loaders, his
boys.
sleeves ready, and
All
Stephen's
right.
like, "Put them away, mate. Put them away."
Good app.
We got out of control here at the end.
Yeah.
All right. On behalf of Mars Sauce and myself, it's been crunch time. Coming up big when it counts. Thanks for tuning in, and peace.
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 Thank you for tuning in to